Okay, Atari, let's see your best pitch.
Tile. Watch it, Yar. He has a lethal drone. And some other tricks up his sleeve.
You can't keep me in here, Atari.
Now that we got all the cinematic garbage out of the way, let's just talk about things that you need to know for most of this.
Vision, and we invented the technology to bring the excitement home to you.
I'd like an Atari 2600 system, please, and everything that goes with it.
Everything? You sure you want everything?
I want everything.
Now you're getting you low.
That's everything. For now. For now, the Atari 2600.
Now get up to $30 in rebate offers plus a free Pac-Man.
Atari as a company today basically tries to feed on nostalgia rather than making new properties. And they also subsided as a video game developer and instead be a video game publisher. And if they even decide to, make a game, they'll usually put that on mobile markets. And if we're going by Atari, that company is long gone. However, let's roll the clock back a little bit.
Attention shoppers, the new Atari cartridge game is in.
Excuse me.
Uh-oh, George again.
Atari's SE battle.
It comes with 27 games, but that's just for starters. You can get 9 cartridges, 187 games.
Blackjack. Oh!
Compared to what they are now, Atari used to be a big company. During this time, Atari had a good amount of computers that marketed itself as being incredibly easy to use.
I know, you think you're going to be the one person in the world who can't operate a computer. You think you won't even be able to hook it up and it'll sit on your shelf mocking you. Well, this is how easy it is to get started with the new Atari XL home computer. Once you get the whole system set up, there are over 2,000 things you can do with it. Just plug this into here. Very easy, because there's only one place it goes, and there, you're ready to go.
But during this time, Atari was focusing on the 2600. Just do keep in mind, the 2600 was still successful at this point. Somewhere around this time, Atari started tinkering around within the 2600, figuring out how to make an upgraded console. This upgraded console was codenamed RC STELLA. If it's not obvious enough, RC STELLA is a code name, with the RC referring to remote control. This console would be renamed Atari 2700. The Atari 2700's main selling point was the fact that their controllers were remote controlled. The actual controller itself was a bit interesting. Instead of going with their well-known stick and button combo, they used an analog stick. And if you count the antenna, the controller is about the size of the console in length. Now, from what I could tell, there was no real reason for the Atari 2700's cancellation. The closest thing I could find was a Wikipedia section that did not even have a resource. According to Wikipedia, the Atari 2700 was cancelled due to the fact that the console's controllers were able to communicate with other Atari 2700s. Also, according to Wikipedia, the Atari 2700 controllers also used the same technology as garage door openers. Now, this may or may not be relevant to the video at all, I don't know, but I like to imagine someone breaks into a home with an Atari 2700 controller. Imagine the lawsuits.
Atari.
Well, I can't use advertisements anymore to explain my point. This thing right here is the Atari 2800. This console's main purpose was to be able to break into the Japanese video game market. Skipping over a lot of the fluff, the console was not successful. Now, let's actually talk about the console. Hardware-wise, the 2800 is the same as the 2600. But on the outside, the console appears to be incredibly different. The console's outside is a lot more sleeker than its American counterpart, almost resembling the Famicom in a way. And the thing that shocked me the most, 4 controller ports. And now that I brought up controllers, let's actually bring up the actual controller. For some odd reason, Atari went to go use their paddle design instead of their joystick design. I don't know about you, but this looks incredibly uncomfortable to use. Alongside the PAL, there were actually 2 buttons on the side of the controllers. Now, let's talk about the software. 35 games. But to end on a happy ending, The company Sears decided to sell the Atari 2800 with permission from Atari. It was bundled with 2 controllers and a Space Invaders cartridge. Well, there isn't too much information out there about this console, so I'm going to attempt to make this sort of quick. Unlike other Atari consoles, the controllers are actually on the console itself, and they use the paddle design once more. The console itself is pretty much the same as the Atari 2600, and it includes the actual Atari 2600 hardware. Oh, and just last year, it just sold for roughly $10,000.
This is the Nintendo video game system. It plays about 80 games. This is the new Atari XE system. It plays hundreds of games. And only Atari comes with a real joystick and missile command. Both have guns, but only Atari comes with the target game Bug Hunt. Nintendo has a toy robot, but only Atari gives you a keyboard for playing advanced computer games. It even comes with the amazing Flight Simulator 2 cartridge. The new Atari XE video game system. Unbeatable.
Coming out of the absolute failure of the Atari 7800, the Atari XGES was supposed to be a mix between an Atari computer and their video game consoles. The device by itself has 2 modes. One is a game system, the other is an Atari 8-bit computer. The console itself came with 2 different devices, an Atari XE joystick and an Atari XE keyboard. And the deluxe variation of the console came with a light gun, which could be bought separately. Now, the device itself looks strange. It resembles more of a toy rather than a computer. I think the circle buttons really breaks the deal for me because these just don't look normal. And it doesn't help that the system looks like it's made out of cardboard. During its shelf life, only 32 games released. So I'm only going to talk about a couple of those because they are a bit significant. The console shipped with Missile Command and Flight Simulator 2, which were fine games, I suppose. And if you bought the deluxe set, it also came with Bug Hunt. The console itself only sold about 100,000 units, so it wasn't really too significant. The point of this video was not to make complete histories of these consoles, not only because I will be burned out by the end of this, and I will probably get a lot of things incorrect. I just want to be a bridge that connects over to better sources and better videos, honestly. I just have a bit of a fascination with consoles that did not really get off the ground and become uber successful. So right now I'll provide some more resources in case you want to go deeper into the subject matter. The resources will be down in the description, and I'll just highlight some of the more major ones in this actual video here. So first, the AtariMuseum.com is quite a great website if you're looking to grab into more of this stuff. They basically just give quick overviews of what these consoles are and how significant they were. And even though the website looks old, they still update it quite frequently, so I always recommend going over there if you want to go deeper into this. Next is Atari.io. It is similar to AtariMuseum.com, but it's a lot more sleeker and a lot more newer in a sense. They give some pretty good information along with good historical photos, so I highly recommend going over there to check them out. Now for my final resource I'm going to mention in this video, The Art of Atari. Despite what the name of the book is, it actually gives a lot more than just art. It gives good information on all consoles. I mean, look at this. They even mentioned the Jaguar VR. And just remember, there's a lot more different things in the description, so read those whenever you get the chance.
Did you try breakout with a bing wall? Did you try breakout with an extra ball? It's what fun's all about. It's Super Breakout. It's a brand new game from Atari. Have you played Atari today?
If you liked Breakout, you'll love Super Breakout. It's got more color, more sound, and more action. And naturally, it's from Atari.
Have you played Atari today?